It was a hot summer day, and my audience was listening with wide eyes, leaning forward. Never mind the aircon that stopped working a couple of hours ago. I was leaning against the table, exhausted with a headache, but my heart was bursting with joy. I had just delivered a 2-day training program, and my participants were sharing about how they would take what they had learned and apply it in their lives. I remember thinking, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. That moment was 13 years ago, and it was the first time that I ever experienced what being on purpose felt like and looked like. And today we are going to talk about just that, how being on purpose feels like, looks like, why it matters in our leadership, and how we can find our purpose. This is the Grow Your Leadership podcast, where we believe that when we grow our leadership, we grow our worlds. Purpose is power. And when we are on purpose, we are not driven by external motivators like success, fame, and money, but we are driven and inspired by something inside of us. What does being on purpose look like? Have you ever worked on something until late at night and you just didn't realize how fast time was flying by? Or have you ever worked on something or done something and you didn't really care about how much or little you'd get paid for it? Those are things that point you to your purpose. And we can be on purpose even in the face of difficulties and challenges and obstacles. I heard the story of a woman that was taking care of her terminally ill mother. It was an incredibly difficult time, and even though it was painful and terrible, she still felt fulfilled and on purpose as she was accompanying her mother for the last few weeks of her life. Was it difficult? Yes. But she felt on purpose all throughout because she was making a meaningful contribution to someone else's life. That is what being on purpose looks like. You can be on purpose when things are taking an unexpected turn in your life. You can be on purpose with a difficult coworker or a difficult boss. You can be on purpose when things get tough. Why? Because our purpose is not rooted in what's happening to us, but it's rooted in who we are. Why does being on purpose matter in our leadership? Leadership that comes from a place of purpose is inspiring, and people love being around inspiring leaders. Leaders who inspire attract others, and they draw people in, and they get people to commit to a mission that's greater than the leader themselves. Think about someone who inspires you. You're likely going to want to be around that person, or you're thinking about how to work together with them, or you're wanting to learn from them. People love being around inspiring leaders, and you can't inspire others if you are not grounded in your purpose. John Maxwell put it this way. He said, when you find your why, you will find your way. In other words, when you find your purpose, you will find what to do. Many people will show up for the what in life, for the money, for the success, for the perception, for the followers, but very few people show up for the why. But it's impossible to lead well if you're not grounded in your why, in your purpose. And that begs the question, how can we find our purpose? Well, I'm glad you asked. Today we're going to look at 3 ways how you can find your purpose. And the first one is this: contribution. What contribution do you want to make in life? When I did that training 13 years ago, I was feeling so fulfilled that my heart was bursting with joy. And the reason why that was is because I was making a significant and meaningful contribution to people's lives. I was helping them to be the best version that they could be. And that was deeply fulfilling to me and pointing me towards my purpose. What is your contribution in life? If you don't know that question yet, I invite you to just imagine that you're 90 years old and you're sitting on a rocking chair and overlooking a beautiful scenery and looking back at your life. What will you want to say about how your life contributed? What is the difference that you made? That points you towards your desire for your contribution in life. Number 2, strengths. A few years ago, I was invited to a birthday party, and just minutes before my friends picked me up, I realized that I had absolutely forgotten to buy a birthday present. What kind of friend would forget the birthday present, right? And in panic, I was looking around and I saw my ukulele and a few post-it notes. So I scribbled down a few notes and played a few chords, grabbed my ukulele, and I played an original birthday song at the birthday party. To me, it was embarrassing. I was like, I didn't even bring a birthday gift. The only thing I have is a song. Who would like that? But when I played that song, everybody loved it. My friend said, this is the best birthday present I ever received in my entire life. And I was blown away. Why did that happen? Many of us have these strengths that we tend to brush off and say, it's nothing special. But they are. Do not neglect your gift. What are the things that you think are so mundane, so normal, that you don't really tap into them? Your strengths actually point you towards your purpose. And I invite you to look there. It's many times I find that it's the very things that we neglect that actually are the ones that we need in order to fulfill our purpose. What are your strengths? What are your unique gifts? Do not neglect them. So we have our contributions, we have our strengths, and lastly, identity. You can't lead others well if you're not rooted in who you are. And being ourselves can be super difficult these days because we're bombarded with messages all throughout the day about what we should like, who we should be like, what we should look like, and so on. It can be difficult to be truly and authentically ourselves. So, what do we do? Who are you when you contribute? Who are you when you fully own your strengths? Who are you when you're far away from all the expectations, far away from all the should-bes? That points you to your identity. And I invite you to find a metaphor, an image for that. In my case, I love to create safe spaces. I love to empower others to be the best version of themselves, and I love to be creative in the process. And one metaphor or image that describes that is the one of a wild campfire. I love the idea of that wild campfire because it brings people together, it creates a community and bonding moments. It's a place of celebration and joy and reflection and growth, and all of this put together is in that image for me. I am the wild campfire. So, what would be your metaphor? Maybe it's the one of Wonder Woman, or it's the sunlight, or it's the soft summer breeze, or the race car driver. Whatever your metaphor is, it should encompass who you truly are. That is who you are when you're truly yourself. So knowing your contributions, knowing your strengths, and knowing who you truly are help you own your purpose and to be on purpose no matter where you are. And that's how you grow your leadership. Let's do a quick recap. Purpose is power. When you find your purpose, you will find what to do because everything that you do flows from your why. John Maxwell puts it this way. He says, when you find your why, you will find your way. How do we find our purpose in life? We look at the contributions. What difference do we want to make in life? We look at our strengths. What are the kind of things that fuel us towards our greatest contributions? And lastly, who are we when we're truly ourselves, far away from all the expectations? Contribution, identity, and strengths. Those are the things that point you to your purpose. And when you are on purpose, you will find that you're not just growing your leadership, but growing your worlds. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If this content is helping you grow your leadership, I love if you would share this in your world and hope to see you soon. Bye.